What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. As you know, I've been trying to troubleshoot a parasitic draw that I thought I was having. If you've seen in one of my previous videos of the parasitic draw test, I was over here pulling out all the fuses to find out what was pulling the power, and it was this one, which is number 6, and this controls the PCM in the instrument panel. And it was drawn enough to kill the battery, so I thought. So I was trying to figure that out the past couple days, seeing where it was coming from. Couldn't figure anything else out. So besides those fuses, there's probably another 50 underneath the dash. If you have a Mustang, you know what I'm talking about. I checked all of them, and number 39, which is the GEM, the generic electronic module, was also pulling the power. So either if I unplug the one up front or this one, it would drop the reading down. So I went on Google, of course, and started Googling what the GEM was. Come to find out, the generic electronic module, and what it controls. Just about everything inside: door locks, radio, cigarette lighter, tachometer, keyless entry if you have it, stuff like that. It controls, and it holds power and saves your settings for like your radio. If you have seats with memory setting on it, it'll also hold that. After Googling and reading up on it, come to find out, the GEM holds power for 30 to 45 minutes and pulls power from the battery for that amount of time. So what I did was I hooked up my test for the parasitic draw test and waited the 45 minutes. After the 45 minutes, it went from drawing a 0.14 to a 0.12. So that means the GEM was going into sleep mode properly, because that's what it does. It goes into sleep mode after the 45 minutes, so it's not constantly drawing that much power from your battery. Because if you draw that much power, it will kill your battery relatively quick. You don't want to see any more than a 0.05, I think, and even that is a little high, but that is acceptable. Like I said, after the car goes into sleep mode, it only draws a 0.02. I got it down to a 0.01 by pulling the fuse out of this. If you didn't see my last video, I found out that there's a tracker on my car. That's right, a tracker on my car. This was aftermarket. I looked up into it. I don't think it is on anymore, so I took the fuse out just to play it safe. And it is hardwired into something underneath the dash. I was trying to follow it, and I was going to unplug it, but the way they wired it in has me sketched out, so I don't want to mess with it if I don't have to. It doesn't hurt the car. As you see, I have most of the interior stuff out. I put some stuff back in, like I had the radio out, and that other cover that goes around the radio that has the traction control, rear defroster, and fog lights on the bottom. I had that all out and unplugged just to try to see where the power was coming from. And I have the lights unhooked because I unplugged them to see if that would help at all. And this instrument panel is all out. I got to put it all back in tonight and get ready, because tomorrow, hopefully, if it doesn't rain, is test and tune. I think it's been canceled 3, if not 4 times already now in a row, because it just rains. Even if it doesn't rain the day of test and tune, usually it'll rain the day before, and the track is still seeping up water, especially down like towards the big end. So, you know, God forbid, you know, some of the faster cars doing 150 plus miles an hour, you don't want water seeping up through the track at that kind of speeds. That's just dangerous. So I understand why they cancel it, but it still stinks because we all want to race, and I'm still trying to break into the 13s, knock on wood, maybe tomorrow. So I got the car figured out. I'm gonna go ahead and start it up for you. She's alive! All that. You wanna know what my problem was? the battery terminals. Bad battery terminals. They were so stretched out and worn out. It was hard to get a good reading. I even put a bigger washer on here to try to get more clamping power closer to the inside, because the little washer just wasn't cutting it. It was just bending the outsides. So I couldn't get a good connection to it. So I went out, bought these new brass ones. To each their own, whatever you want to buy. My opinion, brass is a little better. And that solved the problem. Now in between all this, I had taken my battery out of the car, which is I think 550 cold cranking amps, and put it in the Kia. The Kia's battery is 700 cold cranking amps. This battery started up the Kia, but wouldn't start up my car. The battery in the Kia would start up my car. So I was confused. And the battery in the Kia is bigger, so when I put it in here, it wouldn't fit down in here. It was up a little bit like to here. So I'd have to stretch out the cables, and thus it was getting a good connection because it was pulling so tight. And that's why her battery would start it. Last night I was out here messing around again late, and went ahead and tried to rebend these back and get a good connection, and I finally was able to, enough to figure out that the car started and was fine. So now I went out today after work and got 2 new ones, just so I don't have to worry about it. They're on there really good. This one's so tight, even me trying to spread it out, I couldn't get it on all the way flush to the bottom like that one. But it still is on all the way. I mean, it's not going anywhere. It's tight, and it's over it, so that's good. But yeah, all that trouble and headache for some battery terminals. And I didn't really think that's what it was. But I had said stuff about the battery terminals being crappy since I've owned the car. And I've wanted to change them out, but not until I did the battery relocate to the back. One of the parts I fixed in the instrument cluster was one of these little, I think it's called a varistor. I'm not 100% sure on it. It's kind of like a resistor, but it's with a V. Let me find the old one. There's the old one. It says S10 K14 Auto. Now, when I was having this problem, it would, when I first got into the car, it would crank, or the starter would engage, but the car wouldn't turn over. And then after the first time of doing that, the car would get absolutely no power after that. I couldn't get the gauges to come on and go over or anything. I couldn't get the lights to come on. Nothing. Then I could disconnect the battery and hook it back up again, and it would engage the starter again one time, and then that was it. And then you'd get no power throughout the whole car. And that's what was being weird, is that it would get power the first time I turned the key, and then it wouldn't. But obviously it's because it just had a bad connection on the terminal connectors, the battery terminals. So I replaced this, obviously for no reason, and now I'm afraid, since I did replace it and solder in a new one, that eventually it's going to give me issues. So I did buy 5 of them, bought 4 through one company, 1 through another company, just in case one was bad. So I'm going to keep one in the car at all times with my handheld solder gun and a little bit of solder, just in case I'm out and it acts up or something like that. At least I'll be able to hopefully fix it, even if it's on the road or wherever the case may be. So yeah, all that trouble, almost a week and a half, and this actually goes back to almost a month ago. But then it started working again. It must have got a good enough connection for a couple weeks until a week and a half ago. And then since then, I haven't been able to start the car unless I used my girl's battery. So all that headache for basically nothing. Tearing the car apart, not being able to drive it. That's the bummer. But that's part of vehicles. You know, you just never know, and you got to figure it out unless you want to pay somebody. And I don't have the kind of money to pay somebody to work on my stuff. I got to figure it out myself, or last case scenario, sell the car. Forget it, start over again, get a new one. I have a video that I'm editing right now that I'm going to hopefully post tonight. It's Wednesday. Tomorrow, hopefully, it'll be the track. If I get home early enough, or if I don't go to the track, then I'll post this video from tonight, tomorrow. Either way, hopefully it should get posted unless I get home at a crazy hour, 11, 12 o'clock at night. Then I might not post it because I got to get up and go to work the next morning. But please stay tuned for more. Hopefully it'll be in the 13 soon. I'm either going to be getting the headers next or doing the rear gears. I don't know, haven't made up my mind yet. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, help me out by giving it a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Till next time, peace.